Thoughts on Bronny and what happened today? Sad, man. Sad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be the tinfoil hat guy up here in front of you guys like, oh my. But there's a lot of young athletes just dropping, you know? So happy to hear that he's not in, I guess, a bad state. I heard he was kind of coming out of it, which is a W. You know, but I remember like the DeMar Hamlin one was really, really big. I mean, were we on stream for that? Were we on stream for that? I don't know, man. I don't know what it is or what it isn't, but it's questionable. It's a little questionable what's going on out there. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, please don't. Hey, man. I'm just saying it's questionable. That's all I'm saying, man. You were posting stories on IG? Posting what? What was I posting?
The news of Bronny James collapsing from cardiac arrest during USC training has sent shockwaves through the hearts and minds of many, including the esteemed streamer and content creator, NickMercs. In a recent tete-a-tete, NickMercs expressed his profound concern about this dire situation and the broader trend of young athletes succumbing to such collapses. While he finds solace in the fact that Bronny's condition is not dire, he raises pertinent questions about the root causes and contributing factors behind these distressing incidents. NickMercs is not alone in his trepidation. Over the past few years, we have witnessed several high-profile cases of young athletes collapsing during games or practices. Some of these incidents have had fatal consequences, while others have seen the athletes make a remarkable recovery. Nevertheless, irrespective of the outcome, these incidents have sounded the alarm bells, casting a shadow of doubt over the safety of sports and the well-being of our young athletes. One of the most poignant cases that NickMercs alludes to is that of Damar Hamlin. Hamlin, a high school football prodigy, suffered a catastrophic collapse during a game in 2015. Swiftly whisked away to the hospital, he underwent emergency surgery to repair a tear in his aorta. Hamlin's survival was nothing short of a miracle, but his case served as a clarion call, underscoring the perils of sports and the criticality of screening young athletes for underlying health conditions. Regrettably, not all young athletes undergo comprehensive screening before they embark on their sporting endeavors. In many instances, they are subjected to a perfunctory physical examination and given the green light to participate without any further diagnostic testing. This, my compatriots, is a recipe for disaster, as certain health conditions may elude detection during a standard physical examination. Hence, it is imperative that we advocate for more comprehensive screening programs, particularly for those young athletes engaged in high-impact sports such as football and basketball. Of course, it would be remiss of us to attribute all cases of young athletes collapsing solely to underlying health conditions. In some instances, these collapses may be the result of overexertion or dehydration. Therefore, it is of paramount importance that coaches and trainers maintain a vigilant watch over their charges during games and practices, taking proactive measures to prevent dehydration and heat exhaustion. Another factor that may be exacerbating the trend of young athletes collapsing is the relentless pressure to perform. In today's hyper-competitive sporting landscape, our young athletes find themselves ensnared in a web of expectations, both from their coaches and their own lofty aspirations. This unrelenting pressure often leads to overtraining, subjecting their bodies to an undue burden and heightening the risk of injury or collapse. In addition to overtraining, the use of performance-enhancing drugs may also be contributing to the vulnerability of our young athletes. While these substances are unequivocally banned in most sports, it is not beyond the realm of possibility that some athletes, in their quest for a competitive edge, surreptitiously employ these substances. This is particularly perilous for our young athletes, whose bodies are still in the nascent stages of development and may not possess the fortitude to withstand the deleterious side effects of these drugs. To address these concerns, it is incumbent upon us to champion comprehensive education programs for our young athletes. These programs should enlighten them about the perils of overtraining, dehydration, and the insidious allure of performance-enhancing drugs. By instilling in them a sense of prioritizing their health and safety over their on-field performance, we can foster a culture of well-being and longevity. Simultaneously, we must also invest in robust research endeavors to unravel the underlying causes of these collapses. While some cases may be attributable to underlying health conditions or overexertion, others may be influenced by factors such as environmental toxins or the stress of competition. By delving deeper into these factors, we can forge more effective strategies to preempt these incidents in the future. One avenue of research that warrants our attention is the utilization of wearable technology to monitor athletes' vital signs during games and practices. Devices such as heart rate monitors and GPS trackers can furnish real-time data on an athlete's physical condition, encompassing heart rate, hydration levels, and other vital signs. By scrutinizing this data, researchers may discern patterns or warning signs that portend an augmented risk of collapse or injury. Furthermore, we must explore the role of genetics in athletic performance and health. Researchers are delving into the genetic factors that may render certain athletes more susceptible to injuries or medical conditions, including sudden cardiac arrest. Armed with this knowledge, we can tailor screening and prevention programs to suit the individual needs of our young athletes. Lastly, we must not overlook the impact of environmental factors on athletic performance and health. Exposure to air pollution or other environmental toxins may heighten the risk of respiratory ailments, which, in turn, may precipitate collapses during physical exertion. By identifying these environmental factors and devising strategies to mitigate their impact, we can diminish the likelihood of young athletes succumbing to collapses during games or practices. In conclusion, the ongoing research efforts to identify the underlying causes of young athletes collapsing are of paramount importance. Whether these collapses stem from underlying health conditions, overexertion, dehydration, environmental toxins, or the stress of competition, it is our collective responsibility to comprehend these factors comprehensively. Armed with this knowledge, we can forge a path towards more effective strategies for preventing these incidents from befalling our young athletes in the future. Let us rally together, ensuring that the safety and well-being of our young athletes remain at the pinnacle of our priorities.